Hey, everybody. Welcome to the round 20 fan cams. After a disappointing loss, the Crows 12 goals, 12, 84. Too good. Too good to Carlton, 8 goals, 7, 55. I was getting ready tonight. I thought this would be the one that'll clinch finals, but looks like we're going to have to wait a little while longer. For those of you who are new to the fan cams, I'm going to put the link in the comments. Come and join in. Have a chat about the game, unpack that, and see how we go. Bit flat tonight. We'll start with Pommy and see how we go from there. Pommy.
Well, I mean, that was a big pile of festering horse shit, wasn't it, really? I mean, let's be honest. I did not know that they could import and export shit that high. That was fucking horrible, wasn't it? From start to finish. Hard to believe we've just played a side that's 15th, that's outworked, outpressured us, outwanted it. 20 years almost in the barren, forgotten territories of mediocrity, and it was there for them tonight for the taking. And plus 30 ground ball gets, the return of the tee, kick over the top, round the corner. No one wanted to take contact and handball it off. It was give it away as quickly as possible. That was as close to as you can get a complete fucking embarrassment. And I've backed this team in. Do you know what I mean? I've backed this team in hard. Do you know what I mean? I've had faith. But when it's on the line, it's that close. That the promised land, the completion of everything, dog shit. Absolutely très terrible.
There was a shit show, mate. That was, I guess, because we've been solid for the majority of the year, I kind of just thought at any given moment, like we would just turn on, and we just did not have it tonight. I was naive. I really thought we were going to be able to just, I guess, flick some sort of a switch. But look, the Crows, mate, all over us from start to finish.
It wasn't even a close contest.
Do
you know what I mean? It wasn't even a close contest. So, I mean, it's not like one of them where you watch St Kilda and you're like, oh, you know what? If we kick straight, we could have won. Like, you could have put fucking Tony Lockett out there. Do you know what I mean? And the way them boys moved the ball, stood up in the face of adversity. Like, honestly, I haven't been this angry since round 2. I'm trying to keep it in check since Collingwood. I am them levels of anger. When you make selections like you do, which was a bold selection, J-Sauce, fucking the guy was like our best player in 5 minutes when he came on. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where it goes wrong. Dominated around clearance, again, even though we won hit-outs. It was fumbly, it was loose, it was a lack of belief. Not one bastard wanted to take a tackle on. And then when they had the ball, Carlton's tackling, it was a little bit too hard. And that is a huge, that for me I've come out of that game with a lot of fucking questions and saying to myself, have I missed something major? Because I did not expect, if we lost, I didn't expect us to be blown off the park. And these boys were outplayed, out-hunted, outworked, out-efforted. For a side that has the 8 in their midst to give it up like that, they gave up. They gave up. They strayed away from everything they've worked hard on. And I'm so livid. If I was their coach tonight, I'd be so angry. Because literally what you've done for the last 13, 14 games means fuck all if you finish 9th. It means fuck all. It isn't a pat on the back because they have imploded when the time matters.
Mate, hard to disagree, honestly. Hard to disagree with that. It's fascinating that we were outworked by a team that, not that the Crows have nothing to play for, they're trying to build for something for the future. But we did not come out with the right.
Saab usually without fail turns it over. You've got Plowman under zero pressure managing to hit the only fucking Adelaide player in a crowd of 4. Like, you're talking there for the first time this year, I would say, and I'd love to know what chat think, I don't think anyone stood up in the back line. And that last 10 minutes, that was Carlton versus Eagles. That was Carlton versus GWS, where a team just shits itself, puts the cue in the rack, and goes, all right, we're going to cop a fucking pasting. And we're fucking in the A. Like, if these boys don't fucking want it now, they will never want it. They will never want it. That was a disgrace. That's up there with round 2 for me. Round 2 for me, because round 2, it was all right. David Teague was a fucking melt, right? But they have worked so hard. There is people in the press talking about them as a chance in the finals. And they fucking come out there tonight. And they might as well have not bothered, man. And it's all right. You might hear it was slippery, it was greasy. You know, even the Jesus being left out. I don't want to hear that tonight from anyone. Jesus was left out. Oh, the players might have been a little bit upset. They're fucking men. Do you know what I mean? If your mate is left out, fuck your mate. Play for your mate. Fucking give them that way. Give it to them that way. Like, I don't want to hear any excuses from them tonight, because they will walk off that ground, and that was every single one of them is to blame for that. Do you know what I mean? And you can name me any player who could have come in this week. Do you know what I mean? That was woeful. That was absolutely fucking horrific. And them players better fucking respond, because you've got it hard now. Next 3 weeks, it's a little bit fucking hard. It was meant to be queuing the rack time now. Queuing the rack time. Win 1, maybe sneak a 4th. Tell you what, they better fucking want to come out, because I thought I'd retired Angry Pom. I haven't punched this desk for a year, and my wrist hurts.
Mate, I'm speechless from that, honestly.
Mate.
Sat there in silence for the majority of the game, honestly. No...
In the 4th quarter, I started to resonate with Michael Hutchinson's. I mean, it was fucking terrible, mate. Like, that last 10 minutes, honestly, is one of the lowest I can remember of watching a side literally say, don't want to be here anymore. Don't want to be here. That was the old days. I remember that, watching this in the watch-alongs with you. You know, when the team was like, oh, fuck, it's game over. And there was 10 minutes to play. Win. Find a way. Cue in the rack. That is horrible. Like, I if I was giving player votes, I'd maybe give 2 to Walsh, purely because he found the ball a bit. But he turned the ball over more than a Danish housewife, man. Like, I've never seen that many turnovers.
Yeah. Got to get one of our next 3, mate. Few casualties tonight. Durden looks like he's sore. Newman looks like he's going to miss. Kennedy looks like he's going to miss.
And the problem is if you watch the VFL, it was like a who's who of can't be fuckery. Do you know what I mean? That's what alarms me when I watched the VFL. Apart from Kemp, everyone else kind of looked like, oh, I'm not in the best 22. You know what I mean? Just go through the motions. It's all right, because, you know, the VFL boys who aren't playing for anything, they'll do it for me. And that was what happened tonight. Do you know what I mean? The amount of times Walsh got a hard ball, a ground ball leading pressure acts, and players just stood and what? It was 2019 Carlton again. Watching Cripper do hard shit. Watching Sam Walsh do hard shit, and everyone else going, oh, they're all right, aren't they? Like, Satterfield had a blinder last week. What was wrong with him this week? Like, this is it. My argument is, this is it.
Yeah,
we've been building for this, and I'm sick of fucking building. I don't want to finish 9th. I want to be in for September. And I'll tell you what, if they can't do it when it's in their hands, when can they? Adelaide are fucking garbage, and they have played us off the park. Like, say what you want about Collingwood. They get away with it. At least they fucking find a way. Our boys in the 4th just were like, yeah, that's all right. You know what I mean? It's all right. Boys will be happy. We're 9th. If we finish 9th, that's better than fucking 15th. Fuck that. Fuck that. Even Mr. Voss Tonight, he looked a little bit vague as well. He didn't look bothered. Like, I thought I saw Teague at half-time. He looked that calm. It's poor, mate. It's poor.
It was poor. It was poor. Feeling the emotion straight after the game as well, the shock of it all. So what do we do from here? Now what?
Well, this is my three-stage Uncle Pom plan. 1, I've got 30 minutes to put an Uber Eats order in for a fuck ton of alcohol. 2, I'll add some darts onto that. And 3, hope fucking Rangers see this game out, because I tell you what, if Rangers lose tonight, that could be the end of Uncle Pom. I might just quit sport, fucking take up painting or something, like a wet wipe. But fuck me, that's bad, man. Like, honestly, like, I can't even tell you. Like, Plowman was shit. I stuck up for Plowman this week. Do you know what I mean? O'Brien was shit. You know what I mean? Jacob Weering, I don't know what's happened to him, but at times I thought I was looking at a young fucking Jesse Glass McAster. Like, that's how bad it was. Yeah. Like, I am in so much pain, and that's bad. I'm in so much pain. I can't believe what I've seen. Yeah. Like, I really can't. And, like, Pitternet, man, fucking hell, his name rhymes with shitternet, doesn't it? Like, I've never seen a guy out of touch.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a long one tonight. I could feel it.
Oh, fuck. I don't know. It's not going to be a short one for me. Pommy's going to do, like, strawpedos. I'm going to drink loads, argue with my wife, vomit, and then fall asleep. That is my fucking fail-safe plan.
It was all set up, man. I was ready to go out tonight after a win. I'm staying home, going to bed. That's what I'm doing.
Mate, I might go out. I might go down to Lygon and just start uppercutting people, getting into a fight. So I think that's the only way. Going back to vintage Glaswegian Pom.
Yeah. Well, mate, thanks for everything. We'll speak to you soon.
Mate, honestly, thank you to everyone who did stay to the watch along. Special shout out to George, who thought he was in trouble. Love you, George. Love you all on the watch along. We'll see you next week. I'll be a bit angry, and I'll come back next week and be happy, Pom, hopefully.
Good on you, mate. Take it easy.
Love you.
Ulger, one word, soft, with the $80. Thank you, my friend. Ari.
This is probably the first. I mean, last year I came after North and Gold Coast. But this feels worse.
Yeah, that was shit house. That was shit house.
I think soft is in every facet soft. Not good enough. Tactically, structurally, outplayed completely. And then effort wise, that was any chance of sticking a tackle or
mate, you just know.
A bit of effort? Like fucking hell.
You just know when you see all those broken tackles and you see those kicks become errant, when you see the predictability down the line, when you see no run and carry in the midfield, when you see no ability to switch the play, we just got flustered by the pressure and just could not adjust.
Yeah, it was. How? That's not us. That for the past 5 months, that hasn't been us. Even when we've lost and lost badly, you think Freo, you think Gold Coast. We still came out of those games thinking, all right, there was something there. That was like, we can build off this.
Yes.
Nothing tonight. Absolutely nothing. Patrick Cripps had a phenomenal game. He had 40 touches and was probably the only bloke that looked to do something. Like when he had the ball, looked to drive forward, looked to create something. Walsh was good, got it a lot, but didn't really do a whole lot with it. Sard, average, surprisingly. Very average. I thought Doc, Walsh, these guys who I just trust with the ball in hand, error after misplaced kick, after drop the mark, after this, after that. I'm thinking, fuck, what? Like, I know it was raining, but like, Jesus Christ, like, you can't excuse that under any circumstance. It was appalling.
Especially at this point in the year as well, where like we've got a good chunk of the guys that we needed to have in the team back in the side. So, a good humbling reality check. And now we're going to do it the hard way. But this is why it was important to bank those wins early. We've got, quite a few games to win one. The issue is they're against quality teams in, the top bracket of the eight. So,
I mean, would it be?
We haven't had a feeling in a loss like this in a long time. This is old school.
I mean, would it be any other way? Would it be any other way except the Carlton way, which is always the hardest way?
Yeah, the drama continues, mate. It just can't be easy, can it?
It can never be easy. And I mean, would I have it any other way? Probably, but I feel like this is what makes us. It's part of it. As much as right now I want to punch a hole through my wall and not speak to anyone, I feel like we'll review it in 2 weeks' time and think, yeah, that was quite funny actually.
Yeah,
it was good. It was, I think, a lesson of complacency is probably the right.
Looking too far ahead, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I went into this game thinking, all right, let's go over there, take the 4 points, 5-6 goal win, quite comfortable, come home and look on to a tough 3 games. But, I mean, those 3 games have gotten a lot tougher because there's a lot more riding on it. I mean, you can never count the Tigers out. I know the Dogs were poor today, but you'd expect they'll be coming, the Saints will be coming, and same with the Tigers. So, I mean, we can't miss out on the finals, can we?
No, let's just go 1 week at a time.
Coming with the cliches now, under pressure.
1 week at a time, mate. 1 week at a time. I've got a lot of messages coming through tonight saying we just can't make finals now, so don't be one of them.
No. I know it's us, but sure. Yeah. Just I know, and this is going to be very typical of me, but I know players, and we all know which type of players we're talking about had a pretty poor game.
Yeah.
It's to the audience and to everyone listening, please be rational. I know we're emotional at the moment. Just don't do something you'll regret in tomorrow morning. Just everyone stay calm. It happens that, yes, we understand they all played shit. We get it. Just take it on a footballing level and nothing more because, I mean, I've seen some stuff already that's quite concerning, so hopefully it doesn't go too far.
Well said, Ari. Well said. Good words of wisdom. We'll unpack it. Yeah, we'll unpack it. We'll hear from you over the next few days and go again next week.
Do we have to?
We can.
We can. I mean, maybe we'll be here. We have to be here. We can't not, can we?
Yeah, no, we're going to show up. So, good stuff, brother.
Thanks, mate. Speak soon.
All right, see ya. Rocco.
Hey.
Rocco. Hey, mate.
The only good thing about tonight is I didn't go to Adelaide. Imagine that. Can you imagine the boys now?
They would be getting shit of abuse hurled at them right now.
Oh, and Mars would be, he would be taking it. Listen, man, I more came on just to really give you a bit of therapy. How do you feel about that absolute fucking merda? I know everyone's going, I'll take it easy and that. That is bullshit. Every time this year in the last 8 weeks that we've needed to get a win and consolidate, we have played disgraceful, mate. That is a disgrace of an effort, man. Really, we were pushed and bullied by a bottom 4 side. They pushed us around like we were little kids. It was, I don't know, man. And I'm going to say something. Harry McKay, you are a disgrace for that kick at goal. Seriously, I'm over that. Seriously, that's where it all started practically. I know it started before that. Kick the fucking goal from 10 meters out, direct drop punt. They went across and they kicked the fucking goal within 10 seconds to drop punt it, for fuck's sakes, mate. It's over now. Just drop punt the ball. What is a banana? What is that fucking outside kick from 10 meters out?
Neckside rubbish.
Oh, man. I know that's not the Reaper far out, man. That's one of the things, mate. Owies too, mate. Kick that goal, man. There was someone on the inside too, man. I don't know, man. And I don't know. That was pretty bad, man.
It was not the week for it, man. I mean, look, it's never the week for it, but the margin for error just becomes smaller and smaller at this point in the year. And I don't know. I mean, look, you can argue the defense was under the pump. But the way we used the ball, the way we used the fucking ball, the way we turned it over and were punished for it. And if anything, we probably didn't get punished enough for how poorly we used it.
We should have. That score actually flattered us a little bit.
That's the scary part.
How many times did they just push us over and break a tackle?
Yep.
Like, are we serious here? That I swear we look like little boys. We look like little boys out there. I mean, Cripps was the only one in that third quarter who showed any sort of fight. He came back hard in that third quarter, and I saw him like at the end of the third quarter. He ran to the huddle like he was in, you know. But no one else followed him. I don't care. There was really. It's going to be hard to give votes this week,
mate. Not looking forward to unpacking that.
That was as bad as I've seen, man. I'm actually, I can't even give a rant because I'm that upset at that effort. Like you even said it. Did you say during the week, you go, this is one of the weeks that I'm 100% we can't lose this game, yeah? I'm not saying it to get you back.
No, it's true. Mate, I was getting ready. I thought for sure, no matter what, even if we win by 2 points, I was like, yeah, they're going to find a way because they're a professional outfit this year. They've shown us that they've turned the corner. But when push came to shove and you need to win that final game to clinch the spot.
So if you noticed why in these crunch games, we can't hold our position in those contested like ball ups and all that, right? They get sucked in. And there was no one to give that ball out to. And Adelaide were complete opposite. They held their positions and they always had an outlet. You know. And if you notice, every time we lose that structure. We can't keep it. And again, I like Voss, but he got out-coached again this year. He's been 3 or 4 times out-coached and he hasn't done anything on the day to fix it up on the night. I don't know what he could have done, but there was nothing there. And in the selection, I don't want to say it's sauce or maybe he got a little bit too smart this week. Maybe he was trying to be a little bit too smart. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they clearly want to see what Pitternet and De Koning together do in the side. It's clearly something that they're preferring right now. But I mean, look, Pito comes in.
He was stubborn with some of these players like Durden, and you know, like they deserved a little bit of a break, I reckon. Not that they've played terrible all year. I don't know. Anyway, that wasn't the thing. Even though we just got outplayed today, we should have gone out there with a bit more. Well, we're playing for top 4 and we got pushed around, mate. This is bad for the next 3 weeks, man. Teams are going to see this. I'm going to predict we're going to play Collingwood to stay in the top 8 last game.
Imagine.
I'm going to call it now. We are going to play Collingwood to keep our spot in the 8. This is anyway. I hope not. I hope we've lost one. We're due for a win next week. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Oh, it's an important one next week. Tonight. Not that it doesn't look as bad, but got to respond next week, and it would be a big win because it's a tough ask. Brisbane over there. It's a tough ask.
And it looks like we've got a couple of injuries.
Yep, some nasty ones too. Kennedy. That concussion that didn't look good at all. He was out straight away.
No, and if that's the case, if they've said that's concussion, he won't play next week. Maybe he got Hewitt coming back, so that kind of like helps that out a little bit. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We could have had Jesus Christ himself playing in the middle there today, and I'm telling you, we wouldn't have won.
No,
we wouldn't have won. We got pushed around, and then you're right, and they were smart because they stopped Doherty and Saad with their run at the back, man. We had no more run at the back. We lost our structure. So it didn't matter who was playing today. We were never going to win that game. You could almost see it from when Tex Walker starts pushing. You know, when he kicked that first goal, that was Hawkins 2.0, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Straight out of the ruck.
Anyway, I've got to now get a show together, and I don't know what I'm going to do to get this show together, but I don't know what I can possibly do to make this any better this week, because really, actually, everyone tune in because I want to hear what Mars has got to say.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. All right, guys.
All right, mate.
Take it easy. Speak soon.
Chris Beach.
The first question I'm going to ask you, Terry, is: did the Crows players slip on oil before they decided to get out there? Because we couldn't lay a fucking tackle tonight.
No, we could not. Did not have the intensity of a team that is playing like they're in the 8. Really disappointing.
Yeah. And, you probably figured I was the one that decided to bite the bullet and say, let's go over. Let's see if we can go for the win. Nah.
No. Where'd you watch it from tonight, mate?
Adelaide Oval.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Adelaide Oval. I went.
You're a trooper. I appreciate the effort. We all do.
Yeah. It was annoying, Terry, I'm afraid, mate.
To go again next week, mate.
Yeah, look. Annoying as it is, Terry, I'm afraid it's going to have to go for it because, got a tough 3 weeks ahead, mate.
Well, mate, you have a safe trip back. We'll do it again next week.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the toughest 3 weeks ahead. Kennedy down, Durden down, Newman down. Brisbane will be looking at us thinking, we're going to do it.
Yeah. All right, mate. Take it easy. Have a good one.
Yep, you too, man. Take it easy.
Oh, we're on. Hey, Terry, how you doing? We'll just mute this. I got to turn down the background noise. How you doing, Terry?
Mate, I'm good. How are you?
You there, mate?
Okay, you're the host. You're the host.
Terry.
Yeah, I'm here.
Talk to me, Terry.
You there, mate?
I'm here, mate. I'm here.
Can't hear him. Hello. Hey.
I'm here, mate.
Yeah.
How are we?
Can you hear us, Terry?
Yes, I can hear you, mate. Talk to me.
Terry, what the fuck was that, mate?
I don't know. That was shit house.
All right, Terry, I'd like to talk about what I perceive as our biggest problem right now. I reckon and I watched a lot of football today. I watched the reserves, so I watched the whole list play football today. And in the reserves, we came up against a team that had won 3 games in the VFL. And they're a standalone club. They've been shit all year. And in the AFL, we came up against a team that has won 5 games this year and is at a similar level. And both sides really sucked it up. Both our reserves and our seniors really sucked it up. And it's not the first time it's happened this year at either level. It's happening very consistently. And it's reminiscent of what's happened in other years as well. This doesn't seem to be changing. I really think this club has some really big cultural issues, deep seated, that we need to work through. And I don't know what breaks this nexus, or what do we do? I mean, you look at Melbourne. Melbourne brought in Jordan Lewis. Brisbane brought in Luke Hodge. Who on our playing list at the moment do we have that knows what it takes? We don't have anyone. It's a massive problem. And if what we hear is true, that we've only got 300 to 400K left in our salary cap, we've got major problems going forward. Who are we going to be able to afford to bring into this club that is going to improve us and take us to the next level?
I think it depends on how you look at it. If you look at it like we're either going to have to bring in the experience or we're going to have to learn about the experience with the group that we already do have. Depends where your mind's at. I just think we're going through these things that a lot of this group haven't experienced before. The only way to do it is to be there. Today we bottled it. That's just a fact. We just completely shit the bed tonight.
I think Rocco raised a good point before, just about when Cripps was running off the ground before and no one was following him into that 3/4 time huddle. You know, he was in the middle of the ground with a 10-meter radius around him a few times tonight, but he didn't turn around and ask for the footy. There's the on-field leadership is just not there at all, and enough for them to change the way that they're playing during the game, because you can't rely on the coaches. The runners aren't going to be on the ground all the time. It's just the on-field leadership is really, really lacking. And I sincerely hope that if we do go play finals, is that we play a Big Four club. You play a Richmond, you play a Collingwood, and get some experience for these 22 on the field, because it's just there's no one on our list at the moment that has that kind of experience to play.
Well, that's right. To answer your question, what you raised, Terry, we have to bring it in from another club, because we're at what? We're at year 7 of a 3-year rebuild now. This ability doesn't exist on our list, because if it did, we would have seen it by now. I think we're at an inflection point right now with what our journey on the next 4 years looks like. Because if we don't make some serious change, we're gonna flatline. We might be peaking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I'm a bit of an optimist. I still think the group's got a lot more improvement in it. And tonight was just one of those harsh lessons we're going to have to learn. With 3 more games, we've got to win one of them. That's kind of how it is. That's the practical reality of it all. Like 12 wins is solid, but I think 13 now, it looks like 13 is the magic number to lock you in. And we just got to get to the dance in September and get those lessons, because we haven't even learned finals lessons yet, you know? So
these harsh lessons, they seem to be happening too often, Terry. You know, how much more Gold Coast losses, how many more Adelaide losses, you know, how many more poor performances to clubs that we think that we've gone ahead of. How many more of these are we supposed to take?
Probably more. Mate, there's going to be more of them, no doubt. It's footy. That's the harsh reality of getting a supporter, you know.
All right, thanks, mate. Thanks for taking our call, Terry.
Right, cheers. Young Zach.
No good, mate.
I can tell. I don't even have to know what the score is. I can tell by your groan at the start of every fan cam what the situation is, mate.
Yeah, look, just another half back off the loose. Brodie Smith.
Oh, mate, we've actually been doing it all year with the halfback flankers, haven't we?
It was Sinclair and Hill in the St Kilda game, and it's Smith now. That was just, he was everywhere. He had so much space, and when he kicked, he wasn't kicking to a contest. He was kicking to an open Adelaide player, pretty much in the goal square. The amount of goals they kicked from the goal square, like Keys, I think all of his goals were from the goal square tonight. That's just not good.
Well, I mean, the Crows executed on the game plan for the entire game. I don't think they really, can't really remember of a patch of form in the game tonight where we look like we're on top. If anything, maybe we just got a few goals against the flow of play in the first quarter, but really didn't look likely. Stayed within touch, but in the end, it was an Adelaide night all night.
Yeah. The midfield, I reckon that's where it started. That's where everything starts, is the source. And we were pressured into fumbling a lot tonight, and we just had to, we just had to dump it in, and that's not sustainable. I think Charlie and Harry were, they were, apart from maybe the first 5 minutes where they looked like they were lively with one-on-ones. After that, they just were not.
Yeah,
they just were not. They were just they were held down really well, and every time the ball went to ground, there was 3 or 4 Adelaide players there ready for a handball, and they just got out the back. They were just so open. I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, for a group that's been so well connected for the majority of the year, we did not seem to have that same connection anywhere near it tonight. Is it time to panic, mate, or are we getting a little bit? Are we getting a little bit emotional?
I really hope it's not time to panic. We can't go through that again.
Yeah.
It's going to be big next week. I know we say that every week, but it's going to be really, really big to see how they respond. They can lose, but don't have a piss poor effort like that. To be honest,
not at this point in the year.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's getting real now. It's getting real for the group. The honeymoon's over. It's now in the pointing end of the year, and teams will come. We can't afford to be putting forward performances like that for the rest of the year.
They're going to have to really. They're going to have to really. Work hard at training, obviously, but they're going to have to look at what went wrong tonight, because there's the next 3 teams we versed. They're all better than Adelaide. They're all miles ahead of Adelaide, just like we thought we were, unfortunately.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to have to really. We're going to have to really make sure our system holds up against better teams, because it is a lesson, but it's an unfortunate lesson.
No, it's true. Well said, Zach. Great stuff, mate.
See you, mate.
See ya. Yuval.
Terry, thanks for having me. So 2 weeks ago, I said there were 3 non-negotiables. We've already failed one, so we're already fucked, because there were 3 non-negotiable games. It was against GWS, it was against Adelaide, and then it's going to be against Collingwood, who are going to absolutely smash us. I mean, it's this whole Carlton mentality, the great Satan that are Collingwood. They're going to smash us, mate. They're a better trained, better coached, more determined team, grassroots team. The arrogance that we displayed in this game, I mean, it's been the same groundhog game for each game we've lost this year. They've all been by the same margin. It's all been predictable from the first 5 minutes, right? They dominated us in that first quarter. The only fact that they didn't beat us by more is because they're a bottom 4 team, right? They missed about 4 shots on goal, right? And they continue to dominate us. We didn't play one good quarter. That was a 4-quarter shit performance, right? That was just shit. And let me tell you, I'm not watching them anymore. They can go and get fucked, really. I haven't paid a membership. Years ago, they said, they were ringing me, pay your membership. I said, mate, I'll pay the membership when you lose. This is your fucking business, you losers. The other thing, there's this cultural thing that's really shit. And like the guys before said, it's deep-seated. It's deep-seated from the beginning of the year. When Sayers came in and he goes, it's finals or bust. What fucking idiot statement is that by this fucking, what is he, an auditor, an accountant? They should audit his stupid brain, the bloody idiot.
Well, Yuval, I think Luke Sayers deserves a bit of credit for what he's been able to do at the club, mate. I mean, I know it's a disappointing night, but I think it's a little harsh.
Well, all right. Look, they showed this arrogance. Let me tell you, in the second quarter in this game, right, what fucking stupid idiots are they on the field? They're getting paid whatever, $500,000 plus a year. They continue. You guys have been talking through all your stats and analysis all year. What did they do on the rebounds? They bombed it in the air with that arrogance thinking, Charlie will mark it, Harry will mark it. It never happened because the opposition go, we know what Carlton are going to do. They're going to pop it up in the air and we'll just bring it to ground and we'll fucking scrap for the ball on the ground, and Carlton will freak out because they're a bunch of downhill fucking skiers that have no idea what to do when the bloody game plan doesn't work.
Yeah. No.
I mean, come on, mate. I'm not even a coach. I've had 20 plus years of this shit. You know, this fucking shit. Fucking, you know, Chera. What's Chera? Chera's Italian for shithouse, mate. You know, another star guy. And, you know, he turned one over. All right, he did a tackle and we got a goal from it. You know, he didn't assist. But also, downhill skier. Fisher. Where was Fisher tonight? Where was Fisher?
A lot of them were down tonight. They were. It was.
Yeah, well, you had 40, you know, Cripps and Walsh got 38, 40 possessions. I mean, yeah, a lot of them were down. I mean, but, you know, Plowman, I mean, we're the only club that gives VFL standard players 100 games. No other club sticks for that. We're just a confidence team. We're like St Kilda, you know. We're flat chat bullies against rubbish teams. And we're a confidence team. We'll come out and we'll beat Freo, and then we'll get put in our place by Geelong and Adelaide, you know. So we've failed on our non-negotiables. We've learned a lot about this club. You know, Harry Mackay's been terrible for the past month. And we can't use that excuse, but this guy's out, but that guy's out. We'll be better when Pitnet comes in. We'll be better when McGovern comes in. Really? Has our structure changed with those two guys? For fuck's sake. I'm not watching them anymore. Thanks for having me. I'll see you next year. See ya.
All the best, mate. All the best. Dean.
You can hear me, yeah?
I can hear you loud and clear, mate. How you going?
That's the worst loss I've experienced throughout my whole life. Only probably because we've had something to play for. That's the first time. I know 2013, but I was still a little kid.
Yep.
If we win that game, we're in finals. So it's basically a lock.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, we've got to win. The task is to get the 13th win, one of the next 4. Tonight, it wasn't it. But I think it's just the way we lost tonight, right?
Yeah, that wasn't
never really likely.
Bullied at our own game, I would say. We got completely bullied at our own game. The pressure, contested possessions. I know we would have won center clearances and stuff, but it's around the ground that really matters. Like, yeah, we can win it in the midfield, but if we're kicking it forward and it's gone back into the mid in 2 seconds, it doesn't really mean anything. But I think certain players just didn't step up tonight. And look, I know Cripps and Walsh had 40, but it doesn't really mean anything if our bottom 6 players or bottom 10 players are getting 10 possessions and about 2 turnovers. It doesn't really do. We need the whole team to start gelling together, and it's just certain performances. Like, our gap between our best and worst football is really alarming now. It's starting to get pretty big. Like, against Sydney and Fremantle, we dominated them the whole game. It was the best football I've seen in my life. And then Gold Coast, Adelaide, it's just certain performances where I do think over the next 1 or 2 years that won't be happening anymore, because people seem to forget it's Voss's first year. We haven't played 12 months of his game plan yet. I do hope over the preseason we can start learning multiple. We've showed it this year, but we need to have multiple ways to win, because it seems like our main way to win at the moment is just win contested ball, bully the other team, and they will fold. It's happened against Sydney, Fremantle, all the bottom below teams. If we bully them hard enough, they will fold and win by 40, 50 points. But I reckon when we start gelling together and learning how to beat teams that we should be beating, we've definitely made a lot of progress this year. I don't really want anybody to say this year's a waste. I'm not watching it anymore. It's just one loss that happens. You know, you need to lose to learn is what I like to say. You can't just blow out first year coach and win every single game and win the grand final, because that's just not how it works. You need to build the club back from the ground up, and I think what we've done this year has been absolutely fantastic, and I don't want anybody to take away from them.
Mate, well said. Honestly, I think it's an important message. I mean, obviously it's a disappointing loss, but mate, we've still got 3 weeks left. There's plenty of footy to come. You can't just predict anything at this point. Nothing is ever really predictable. Just going to have to go again next week, mate.
Yeah, I personally think Michael Voss isn't going to let that happen again. He's not that type of figure. The players will look to him and say he's a 3-time premiership player. He's won a Brownlow. He's done everything. He's done absolutely everything he can do in his career, and he's not going to sit there and let that happen. We're not going to get folded by Brisbane by Sydney. We're not that team anymore. we're different. Yeah, bumps happen and certain things happen in certain games that you don't want to happen. But back then, we're losing 5 games in a row by 50 points. And it was just Walsh and Cripps. Like, I know they were the 2 standouts, but we don't need them anymore to carry the whole game. And we don't need them only just to win. You know, Cottrell, the improvement he's had this year, he's one of my favorites. He's kicking 2 goals a game on average, in my opinion. He's one of our most important players. And as you said multiple times, when these bottom 6-10 players start to sprout up, and when we finally gel together, our best football is better, in my opinion, it's better than anybody else. We can beat anybody. I know everybody's best. It's so good. And we've still got time. If we do make the finals, which I think we will, we've got the best possible run up to finals. We've got Brisbane, Melbourne, and Collingwood.
Yep. A good tune-up.
Quality.
And to be honest, Adelaide gave us quality pressure tonight as well. So we've got to get used to it because this is the way it's going to be for the next month and then beyond if we're going to be there.
Yeah, and the whole talk around, as what the guy was saying, certain players getting injured and stuff, we've shown over this year that we can have players that will still win. Look at Weering going out. Look at Cripps and Walsh going out. We're fine. We don't need these players to carry us and win us the games all the time. We're a good enough side now to go, all right, he's out. What are we going to do? We've got players like Dow and Setterfield came out. I know he didn't have the best night, but we're now turning into that team who can – you can't be mediocre anymore. You got to actually gain your spot. Look what happened to O'Brien. Look at what happens. Probably Kennedy won't play, but I personally think he wouldn't play it next week either. He didn't have the best game. Players like Dow and Setterfield have come into the side and they've earned their spot. And I just think this is a bump on the road. And Voss's first year, and I think I just want to make finals. Just get that experience because, as the guys were saying before, we don't need to bring anybody in. We need to build this club up to be that powerhouse like it was in the 80s and the 90s. We don't need other people's handouts like back then with GWS. We don't need that anymore. We're a completely different club, and we just
pieces are there. Yeah, man, I'm with you. The pieces are there. They just didn't work tonight.
Just didn't work tonight. But thank you for having me, and hope next week is a bit more joyful, and we can all hopefully not want to punch our hole in the wall. But thanks, Terry.
Mate, thank you. I think that was your first time on the cam, so you did very well. So join us again next week.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, mate.
See you, mate. Paolo, mate. All the way to Adelaide, driving away on the wine tour.
Yeah, I reckon I might need a couple of wines after tonight, just quietly. I got a beer. It's not very celebratory, but it's something. Mars is on the Reds. He's already on the Reds. Mars and Macca are on and Maloney. But that was just. I mean, the game in isolation was just absolutely shocking, terrible, poor, horrific, and I mean, it's just what I think the worst thing about that game is that everything up for grabs to lock in a final spot, and they've just they've been shown up by a bottom 4 team, which is. It was pitiful tonight, really. No answers in front at quarter time, and just I mean, what more is there to say, really? I mean, you can look at it, and Dean spoke really well with regards to the season in its totality, where improvement has come. But this game in isolation just shows it's all just the mentality of this group is not at that. It's not at that ruthless killer stage yet. Not yet.
There's levels to it. What was it like? There, what was the atmosphere like there? What
shit!
Yeah, they're not exactly content. The atmosphere, I mean, it was not hostile or anything like that. I mean, they weren't exactly the Adelaide crowd. I don't think is anything to be really scared of.
They smelled of shit.
Yeah, Mars has gone all in tonight.
Marcello, mate, we were a little bit worried that the fans were going to be giving you a bit of shit over the fence today, mate.
They did. I told them to go fuck his mum and go fuck himself.
Yeah, all in there. Anyway, but no, you know what I think the worst thing about tonight is how safe they were.
Yeah. We've seen it a few times this year as well.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's the worst. I don't go to games wanting them to kick short at halfback and then go long up the line for 100 minutes. I don't pay membership for that.
Yeah.
I pay membership to watch a team go out there and give it to an opposition. And that they legitimately put their feet up at the end. I'll tell you now they did.
Mhm.
They fair can put that. That's the first time they've probably done it this year, I'd have thought. Geelong, they probably just got outclassed and outdone. But I don't think you could have questioned the effort or anything like that. But just tonight was just insipid, really. And I think the most frustrating thing is that you look at a team like Collingwood and all their leaders in the big moments, they all step up. Ours don't. And I think tonight was a clear confirmation that disposals mean nothing when you don't do anything with it. I mean, Cripps and Walsh had 40, but what's the point? I mean, if you're going to butcher it all night and do nothing with it, and Adam Chera, I mean, what's going on with him? We have paid for a match winner, right? Surely, on those type of wages, yeah. But he just, I didn't like his game at all tonight, and I actually think his year has been a little bit questionable too. But how many times can he take the safe kick across half back? Did he ever once try to bite off a kick into the corridor tonight at all?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the Crows brought the heat from the get-go, and I think one of the symbolic moments was early in the first quarter. Lewis Young, regulation mark.
Oh, my God.
Regulation.
That's plaguing him. That's plagued him in the last 3 weeks. He dropped nearly everything last week.
Yeah.
And he's reverted to the double fist, which is really worrying. And I thought Taylor Walker just ran rings around us tonight. I mean, Jacob Wiedering was just him, and Lewis Young just couldn't contain him at all. Just getting up the ground, working harder than Harry and Charlie. And I mean, the half forward line again. Why does it always break down?
Well, there was disconnect in the midfield. There was disconnect with the smalls. The ball came to ground. We just were not in the right position all game. And we've got to find that connection. We can't afford to be losing that at this point in the year, man.
I know. And we just cannot generate any momentum at all. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. The worst. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, the boys just mentioned this now. The one thing that just did me in that game, it was a round peg square hole moment. Jack Silvani playing on the wing. If I ever see Jack Silvani line up on the wing again, I'll fair dinkum walk out the ground.
To the fucking person that said Silvani on the wing, there's your fucking answer.
Mate.
You fucking dead shit.
Will Silvani be missing another game anytime soon?
Well, it's amazing how there was no connection or hit up, or we lacked that hit up across half forward, and But no, the selection had nothing to do with us winning or losing the game tonight. And it's just when you have the chance to lock that. When you have the chance to lock away pretty much a guaranteed spot in finals. And it's to produce. They've produced their worst performance of the year. It's here.
Yeah. Well, they
conceded.
For the first time this year, I feel like they conceded that they were losing.
Yep, it was mentality tonight. There's no way knowing that the way that they play when it worked, the way that they've played this year, the foundation with which they've set themselves to win games works. Period. And our inability to get the ball to the outside. And I just don't understand why we continually went safe. I know the opposition are trying to stop you, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's a plague with us as well. Here's Michael.
Just Terry's face mask on.
That's bad.
Mate, I was calm before the game, ladies and gentlemen.
We sat there the whole time. They saw. I was just sitting there quite content with watching shit. That was, as Mars says, that was poo.
Mate, I had the game all wrong.
5-meter handballs, Cripps and go fuck himself.
I don't know what's going on, man. They're just so disconnected. It's not a team anymore. I feel like we've gone backwards in 8 weeks. In 8 weeks, I've been saying it all year. We're a good team. And I just got made to look like a dickhead tonight.
Terry, we got fucking hoodwinked.
We did. Well, listen, relax. We've got 3 more games left.
Nah.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the thing is, Terry. No, you know the thing is, bro. Unfortunately, every single time there's been pressure on us, we haven't fucking done it.
Yeah.
That's the concerning part, and you just got to really look at it like that, man. God, I really hope they pull the finger out the next 3 weeks.
Bullshit. because this season could really go head under. Anyway, have a good night.
There you go. He's off.
Good night.
So, yeah. I mean, and then as I said, I mean, I think the inability to answer within game when an opposition is on top is just, we were in the game. We were trailing by 10 points when Cottrell kicked those goals.
Yeah.
We're in the game and just, how many times did they get out? How many times did Ben Keys get out the back? I mean, he did
a mighty fine job tonight. He played on Adam Sard, and Sardi plays well. Sardi plays hard all the time, but Ben Keys was very good tonight.
He was very good tonight, but I mean, just Ben Keys, he slaughtered us.
Fuck off, mate. Seriously. We made him look like fucking Modric, cunt. Fuck off. He was no fucking good, mate. We made him look like a superstar. You fucking got 2 goals at the back there. Come on, man. Fucking, I'll sharpen up with fucking shit. Cherish shit. The Conning shit. Fucking Peter shit. Crips can go shove his $1 million fucking ass. Nah, I'm over it. Doherty, fucking dude.
Yeah, well, Mars has gone all in.
The
Tuesday.
were fucking shit. No good. They're a bunch of pussies. That's it. Seriously. Right. They're a bunch of pussies.
Tuesday night's going to be an interesting night. I think
we'll leave it at that.
We'll get a few nights sleep and see how we go.
I think so. We'll leave it at that. Have a good night.
Take
Ciao.
it easy.
Enjoy.
Ciao. Sayaf.
What's going on, bro?
It's a bit fiery tonight, mate. People are not happy.
Raw fucking emotion, mate. That's what it is, eh?
Yeah, not happy. Not happy at all.
But, bro, is that what we're doing now? Is that what are we basing on, like a whole fucking season off one game? Like, is that what it comes down to? Like, bro, chill the fuck out a bit. Like, all right, let's look at the game in isolation, right? We got hammered.
Yep.
That was the worst performance of the season by a milestone.
Yep.
Literally, it was bad. It was bad. Oh, mate, I was alone in the car watching the game and screaming at my phone like a fucking lunatic, bro. That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
I haven't been that angry in a long time, man. Like, it was bad.
Well, let's be honest. We haven't watched a loss like that since last season, really.
Yeah. It would have been the Port game last season, GWS game, whatever it was, long time ago. But can't be doing that. You're not basing a game off a whole, a whole season off one game, man. Like, chill. But, bro, that's what it's come down to, though. We need to win one of the next 3, which are all really tough games. Yeah. That's what it is, isn't it? So we're in a bit of trouble, but we've put ourselves in that position. What do you do?
Well, that's right. I mean, look, you know, they've done a pretty good job this year of not losing 2 in a row. The issue is next week's against a serious opponent.
It's a big issue, mate.
Yeah,
it's a big fucking issue, right? That's what it is. No, it was bad.
What was your take on the disconnection tonight? Like, I mean,
bro, I think Paulo said it best. We too safe. Like, bro, who stood up? Who stood up when it mattered? Like, I'm not gonna discredit Cripper. Like, I'm telling you, he played his heart out. All right, let's be real.
Yeah.
He played his heart out, bro. He played a captain's game. But who after him? Who stood up when it mattered? Where's all our leaders? No one did nothing, bro. My boy Sard got pummeled tonight. Got wrecked. Doherty got smashed. Bro, McGarvin, Plowman, fucking turnover after turn. Everyone, bro. What if Walsh is turning the ball over? Don't worry about the rest. I think that's simply put. But it was bad, man. Like, yeah. And it wasn't like usually get 3-4 players having a bad game. I think it was like 22 players had a shocker. Yeah. That's what it was.
That's true. And it just can't be happening at this point in the year, and the margins are thin. So, mate, we've got to fix it up. We're going to miss a few more players. It looks like after that game, Durden, Newman, and Kennedy all could miss next week based off the way they finished the game today.
100. I don't think any of them will play next week.
Yeah,
but even if they played the whole game, we would lost that game all day. That was bad. I don't know what happened, man. Like, what do you think was the issue? What do you think,
mate? That was not the Carlton that we've seen. Even in losses this year, that was not the Carlton we've seen. There was a complete dysfunction about them tonight, and a complete disconnect, and a complete unwillingness to do the little things that are hard to do, but you've got to do them, and the risky things to win a game in the way we play. The run and carry just was nowhere to be seen. That overlap run with the handball was nowhere to be seen.
Bro, the amount of times I was yelling, "Where's the fucking runner?" I'm yelling to myself, "Where's the runner? Who have you got? Like, who's giving him an option?" There was nothing, man. It was bad. Like, that was bad. Like I said, look at the game in isolation. Don't worry about the rest of the season for now. But like, and against the bottom four side, like, that's the Carlton of old. That's honestly what it is.
We had to have one of those losses this year, didn't we? Had to have one of them.
Oh, it wouldn't be a Carlton season without him, mate.
No, just a reminder of what it can be if you're not switched on.
Yeah, but like I said, don't base a season off one game. Not to the extent some people have been taking it to tonight. Like, bro, bagging the president and fucking saying, "See you next year, bro." All right, if you want to talk like that, bro, keep it to yourself. Move on.
Yeah.
And jump on the bandwagon when things looking good again. But don't bring that shit here.
Yeah. No, well said. Well said, bro. Thanks for coming on.
No, all good, man.
All right. See ya.
See ya, bro.
Diana.
Oh, Terry.
Diana.
God. It's Diana, but hey, I'll take Diana. It's fine.
Getting everything wrong tonight. We're just copping L's everywhere.
I just don't know what to say. First off, I just want to say, being a South Australian, I apologise to all those Carlton supporters that made the trek out over here. Yeah, those Crows supporters were pretty feral. I'm not going to lie. Wow. It got really fiery.
Really?
Really
Give
fiery.
us an insight. Yeah, tell us a bit about the atmosphere at the game.
It was, sorry, that's Mum.
Hey, Mum.
Yeah, no, it was just fiery. They were just sticking their finger up at our cheer squad and just giving it to us, turning around, giving us the finger. It was the kind of thing that you used to getting from Port Power supporters, for example. It was, was intense. It was really intense, just telling us to look at the scoreboard all night long, which we were responding with, well, hey, how about you have a look at the ladder? Yeah, we just copped it all night long. Other than that, yeah, I don't even know what to say. It was
very disappointing.
Such a disappointing performance. I don't want to call anyone out. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I think it was pretty even across the board in terms of there was a lot of passengers tonight. Not a whole lot of standout performers though, really. No, I don't know what your take on it was, but
yeah, it's hard. I mean, there were a couple of individuals that sort of stepped up. I think Walsh and Cripps come to mind off the top of my head. But at the end of the day, like, loss like that, it's very hard to glorify any individual, I think,
That's right. It's difficult to kind of, it's one of those losses where I think other losses that we've had this year, you've still been able to see a silver lining and take out some positive elements from it. But yeah, really struggling with this one. I can't say I expected that tonight. I didn't think I wasn't overconfident in terms of, I thought we were going to smash them. Obviously Crows at Adelaide Oval. I mean, you've got to give them a bit of respect, don't you? I mean, they know how to play at that ground and they always bring it. They bring the pressure and they do always keep fighting, I guess, until the end. And yeah, wow.
Disappointing. I think Carlton never seems to like this over. They never seem to win.
Yeah,
can't win in Adelaide. The record remains, and it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
We live here, but we love Carlton. We've been to the grand finals and all. We think they're fantastic, and your show is beautiful.
Yeah, big fans, Terry. We love what you do.
Roku, all of them.
All of them.
We just love you.
Yeah, we love what you do. Obviously, being supporters from SA, it's just so great being able to have this kind of content available rather than the rubbish that mainstream media tends to bring. Yeah, it's fantastic.
But I think Carlton's first quarter, I can tell that they weren't going to do it. I don't know.
We've watched these boys long enough now. We know.
Yes.
It doesn't take much. You just know.
Yes, like sort of at halftime, I was thinking, oh God, please let this be one of those games where they're going to wake up after halftime and just magically switch on. But gosh, no, it was never going to happen, I think.
No.
Look,
No.
I'm proud what Boss has done. And he's given them a lot of confidence. I don't expect them to be in the grand finals.
Yeah.
But they just got to get there. But tonight,
yeah, they've got to. They've got to do that. I mean, right at the beginning of the year, we've talked about it all year, haven't we? That was the expectation, is that we make the finals, and I think
That's
just
what you want.
It's so important for them and their confidence and moving forward over the next few years. I just hope they can do it.
I've been waiting for a long time.
We have been waiting a long time.
We just love those Blues. We love them.
We do.
And
we do.
Yeah. And everyone says, "Are you from Melbourne?" I said, "No."
Oh yeah, we copped a lot of that tonight.
Oh,
we got told to go back to Lygon Street. So.
Yeah, they really gave us.
Never been there in my life.
I had to stop some fights myself. I had to stop some. It was
fantastic. Yeah,
it was just terrible. I thought Power supporters were bad, but Crows were just as bad. Terrible.
Yeah, not a fun time tonight. Not a fun time.
Yeah, but anyway, we love the show and thank you. We just think we're terrific. My brother-in-law was on, Roberto. We all love you.
Yes.
Well,
another big Carlton fan.
Oh, very big.
At least we have each other. All right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. On to next week. I feel like Brisbane, of those remaining 3 games, are the weakest link.
Yeah, I think so.
Now, Voss just gives them that little bit more push to get up there again.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Thanks, ladies.
Right. Have a nice night.
Thank you,
They
love.
Brody.
I can't talk. That has to be one of the worst games I have ever watched in my whole entire life. Been supporting Carlton for about 6 years now, since my dad got me to support Carlton, and I just can't talk.
Brody, it was look, I think we've seen worse, but I think because of how good we've been this year, that was definitely our most disappointing one, wasn't it?
Absolutely. And one of the comments I was seeing, and the LA fans were calling Adam Sard a terrorist.
I was told about that. I think we'll address it once the full details are there. But if that's happened, then that's obviously disgusting and not a good way to end the night.
No, and I think now we got Brisbane will be hard. I'm hoping we'll get at least 2 wins out of 3 games.
Yeah. Well, we've got to get one. We've got to get at least one of them, Brody. So we've got to get one of our next 3. Hopefully 2. 2 would be nice, but yeah.
And hopefully, and hopefully it doesn't happen as last time in 2013.
Correct.
Take care, Jay, and all best, and hope we have a win next week.
Thanks, Brody. Good on you, mate. Yusuf.
Mate, that was deplorable. Absolutely deplorable.
It was not very good at all, was it?
Oh, man. I just took some notes of the game that I just wanted to talk about because there were just so many things wrong. First of all, I mean, how many times is Ben Keys going to get out the back? I mean, oh my God. There was like 3 open goals he had. And I mean, I love Adam Sard, and he was obviously best on ground last week, but I just think he should have been a bit more accountable for Ben Keys. I mean, I don't know if you realised, but our defence was so open the whole game. It was so open. I mean, there were so many times that they had to have 3 guys inside 50 unmarked. Oh, man, it was just so bad.
Man. There were holes appearing everywhere, in defence, in the midfield, up forward, the connection. I think the connection amongst the 3 lines of the field is as worse as it's been in any game this year. It was definitely, they left one of their worst performances for the end of the year, which is disappointing.
Yeah, the problem I'm starting to realise now is we can't deal with pressure. I've realised this multiple times. You look at all our losses. It's not that we're probably one loss is Geelong were outclassed and they had better execution, but Gold Coast lost earlier in the year. They put the pressure, And then when the other teams put the pressure on it, our ball use and our disposal is really, really bad. And then there'll be moments where there's no pressure on us, but there's perceived pressure, and then they do really funny thing. I don't know if you remember that moment. Walsh just by himself, and he had a short 10-meter kick to Cripps. I think it was in the second quarter, and he just kicks it out on the floor. I couldn't believe that. And when I see something like that, I'm thinking, yeah. And then when Lewis Young, for example, drops that chest mark early in the game, then I'm like, yeah, they're not focused and they're feeling it.
Just weren't able to deal with it, were we?
Nah, it's just not too many players showed up. I thought Cripps was phenomenal. He was unbelievable. In the contest, he was winning everything. He was chasing really hard. But yeah, execution was really poor. Like some guys, someone said before, you really trust them with ball in hand. Very reliable, good users. Like for example, Doherty had a few kicks where just turning it over in really bad positions. And I mean, there was just one moment in the last quarter. I think I thought McGovern was actually all right today. I thought he was actually decent. But there was one moment in the last quarter where about to have good ball movement through the corridor, and he kicks it to the man on the mark, and that was just game over.
Turnover goal. Yeah. You're right. He had a few good moments, he had a few poor moments, and he wasn't alone. There are quite a few. Some of the turnovers tonight were just abhorrent.
Yeah.
Just a lack of focus on executing the simple kick or the handball, whatever it was. And we seem to be a team that when we turn the ball over, we seem to pay the ultimate price more times than not with a goal.
Yeah, there's another thing I'm starting to realize that it's a bit confusing. For example, imagine we have the ball, for example, 50, 55 meters out, and it's out of someone's range. We give the handball receive and we completely stuff up something. I remember I think it was always this game. I think he tried to do a handball receive to Kennedy. I'm not sure why he did it for Kennedy, but he did it. And then we just completely fluffed it. We start handballing all around the guys under pressure. And then we can go out, the other team goes the other way and score. I mean, I couldn't. A week's a long time in footy. I remember before this week, everyone's saying, "Oh, we don't know who to pick in the best 22, and we win this game." And I can't. After this game, you got Collingwood in third, and our spot is threatened. Which I can't even believe I'm saying those words. And we've got 3 injuries from this game. I just don't know what to say.
I was saying before the game, we need a little bit of luck. Just with injuries and not getting injuries to key players and not good. I mean, look, as it sits right now, we're, 2 games clear of being in the 8. The Doggies are on 48. Oh, sorry, they're on 40 points. The Tigers are on 38 with a game to play. So it's not a complete disaster just yet. But we've got to respond pretty quickly and get the job done.
But there's one main concern that I do have, and I think this is the main concern. Like next week, we could win by 100 points. But the problem is, have you seen the last 8 weeks? Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. It's the inconsistency. Ever since that Collingwood game, we lose to Collingwood, and then we win against Essendon. It's just, and then we lost to Richmond, and we beat, I think it was Freo. Like we can't back it up. I don't know why. I don't understand why we can't back it up.
Yeah. Well, look, we've never lost more than 2 games in a row this year. We seem to always respond after a loss, and you just hope that that's going to be the case next week. But you're right. We need to get some momentum going into the end of the year.
So, yeah. And I mean, last 3 games, I don't think you could have tougher games in these last 2. I mean, Brisbane at the Gabba, that along with GMH Bears, one of the toughest asks.
I love it, though. I wouldn't want it any other way. Because then if we're going to make it, we're going to really earn it.
The thing is, I look at it in a good way and a bad way. Because I look at it in a bad way thinking, gee, finals is not guaranteed. If we lose all 3, which, I mean, I really hope not, then finals could be out of the question. But then it's a good thing where if we win 1 or 2 of them, you're thinking, gee, we've beaten some good teams going into finals. But yeah, the main takeaway is that under pressure, we fold. We fold under pressure. And the ball use and the amount of fumbles tonight, oh, man. Players with so much time and they just fumble. And I knew it would be Adelaide. Adelaide, they're just such a scrappy team. At home, they're just such a scrappy. They bring you down to their level. And we went down to their level. The ball movement, it was putrid. It was absolutely putrid. We just keepings off, kicking around the back, and then long kicks up the line. I don't remember I don't remember barely any kick into the corridor. It's just, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words.
Yeah, well, you summarised it pretty well. Appreciate you coming on and sharing your thoughts, mate.
I think hopefully bounce back next week. Go Blues.
Go Blues, brother. Take care. You know what? That'll do it, ladies and gents. Disappointing. Very disappointing. Disappointing because it's such a late point in the year, and to put up that when we've got seemingly the right players that we all yearned for to come back into the side, but for a few of them. So 3 games left, 3 of the toughest games in footy in 2022. Got to get at least one of them to clinch our spot in the 8. But we'll unpack it. Have a good night, everybody. For those of you who are in Adelaide, enjoy. For those of you who made the trip, enjoy the trip home and get home safely, and go the Blues.